Here we have the Precision Chassis front lower ball joint K500063. This part's for the 2006 to 2017 Jeep Compass and Patriot, as well as the 2007 to 2012 Dodge Caliber. It's engineered with a number of enhancements, including self-lubricating greaseable sintered bearings, an improved dust boot, and most notably, an innovative and more reliable retention method. In this video, we're going to go over how to install this ball joint into the OEM front lower control arm. Before we do, let's take a look at the OEM arm and what makes this ball joint replacement a tad different from your usual one. When we take a closer look, we can see that the original ball joint is actually crimped into the bore. This is essentially the primary retention method. This may be fine out of the factory, but can present a challenge when you go to install a replacement ball joint. Let's press out the original ball joint. We can now see the housing groove, which the control arm gets crimped onto. The comparatively thin stamped steel construction of the original arm poses yet another challenge, and we can see that as the original ball joint was being pressed out in combination with having to overcome the crimps, the bore has become somewhat distorted. This is where the unique retention method of the Precision Chassis ball joint comes into play. The design of the nut will help to correct the out-of-roundness. Before we press in the new ball joint, let's take a moment to clean off any rust, grime, or other contaminants. We should also inspect the control arm body for any cracks or damage. Do not reuse the body if any of these are found. It's important to note the difference in the press-in direction. The old ball joint is pressed out from the bottom, indicated by the flange. The new ball joint, however, will press in from the top, again indicated by the flange location. Once we press the new ball joint in, we will then thread on the retention nut. As a time-saving advantage, a pre-applied thread-locking compound helps increase retention force. Let's press in the new ball joint. Once done, it's good practice to check that it's properly seated onto the body. We can then proceed to tighten the retention nut. Be sure to follow the supplied torque value of 184 foot-pounds or 250 newton-meters, and only use a properly calibrated torque wrench, not an impact gun. To finish installing the ball joint, fasten on the grease fitting. For a complete install, Precision Chassis K500063 also includes a new anti-corrosion coated control arm to steering knuckle pinch bolt and nut.